Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics, and welcome to another edition of my Detroit Sports Show right here on blogtalkradio.com, live from the northern outskirts of McBain, Michigan, with yours truly, your host, Taylor Phillips. This is the Lions edition, and if you have opinions or want to join in on the conversation, you can call in by phone at 646-478-4837. That's 646-478-4837. The show will be 15 to 30 minutes long as always, and then after this show is all said and done, it will be archived so you can all listen to it again because it's recorded. Again, the guest phone number is 646-478-4837. That's 646-478-4837. You can also post your opinions in comments on my talk show post on my timeline or on my personal Facebook page, Taylor Phillips, at facebook.com/Phil1DT, on my Detroit sports page, Taylor Phillips's Detroit sports page, at facebook.com/Taylor's sports page, and in Taylor Phillips's Detroit sports group. And you can follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. You can also search me on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Google, and Pinterest at Taylor Phillips, and I'm also I'm simulcasting on YouTube via Google. I'm also on Tumblr at DT2Phillips. There's also a chat window on blogtalkradio.com for you to comment your opinions. Now, before we begin, here are the guidelines for all the listeners of tonight's show. Number one, if you have called in, stay on the line so I can get to you for a talk. If you hang up by mistake, not a big deal. Just redial this number, 646-478-4837, and then stay on the line. Number two, keep it very clean. Number three, treat each other with respect. Don't verbally abuse one another or I'll mute you for the remainder of the show. If you don't know, number four, if you don't know much about Detroit sports, you can still I will still allow you to listen to my show for education. And number five, only I can change the topic of the show because I'm the host of the show. Okay, the Lions, I'm not gonna make this any entertaining as you think I am, as some of you think I am going to. The Lions suffered a heartbreaker last Monday night against the Ravens, but that's their own fault. Final score was 18-16. The Lions were tied with the Bears for first place in the NFC North at 7-6 and holding the tiebreaker going into that contest. Going into that week, going into week 15, and I have a lot of Lions articles. Posted on my Detroit sports page, Taylor Phillips's Detroit sports page, and I'm trying to I was trying to look for the article on the defeat from last Monday night. and the Lions defense was able to hold the Ravens offense to 6 field goals, including which yet included the game winner. The Ravens didn't score any touchdowns, but the Lions only scored 2. I mean, the Ravens defense on one part has been pretty good, but on the defensive, which is the defensive line, but that didn't mean Calvin Johnson had to drop 3 passes for Matthew Stafford, which is inexcusable. Calvin Johnson is always better than that. Reggie Bush quoted, we didn't play like we wanted today on both sides of the ball. There were plenty of opportunities out there for us to win a game. This was a setback for us. This one hurts," unquote. The Lions were 6-3 once, but now they're 7. They were 6-3 in first place in the NFC North alone, but now they are back down to 3rd place at 7-7. Justin Tucker kicked field goals of 29, 24, 32, 49, 53, and 61. Incredibly, with 38 seconds left to seal the deal, to help seal the deal. Martin Elam with an interception, one of the 3 interceptions that Stafford threw. Let me go ahead and base my opinions on this. Some of the blame some, but not all. But some of the blame goes to Matthew Stafford. I know he's been having a rough year, but that does not mean that nobody has to fix him. Somebody has to. If head coach Jim Schwartz just went out and said Matthew Stafford will play well the last 2 games, I'm not sure how. And if the Lions were to go on and miss the playoffs after this past Monday night, then Jim Schwartz would be unlikely to keep his job as head coach. I heard yesterday and today that the odds are likely that Jim Schwartz will be fired. So, just looking at the stats, Matthew Stafford went 18 of 34, 235 yards, and a touchdown and 3 interceptions. And those 3 interceptions, Reggie Bush carried the ball for 17 rushes for 86 yards and a touchdown, which kicked off the game on the very opening drive. Calvin Johnson caught the ball 6 times for 98 yards. And that's it. So, looking at the NFC North, standings, the Lions are in third place, as I said, 7-7 without a tie. The Packers are in second place at 7-6-1 tie, and the Bears are 8-6 in first place. Both the Bears and Packers won last Sunday. But it is not yet official that the Lions are eliminated from playoff contention. They have to They have to beat the 5-9 New York Giants, which is coming up this Sunday at 4:05, and hope that the Bears and Packers both lose their next game this weekend, and maybe, just maybe, the Lions can retake control of the NFC North and win it alone. Now there's still time. The Lions are still in the hunt. They are of the 10 teams that are in playoff contention yet. The Lions and Cowboys are tied for 9th place in the entire NFC at 7-7. The Packers are 7-6-1, as I mentioned, in 8th place, and the Arizona Cardinals are 9-5 and second at 7th place. I know this looks a little weird, but that's because the Bears are the division leader of the NFC North. That means they're automatically in 4th place, which is higher than 7th, 6th, and 5th. You already get that. The division standings. Yeah, that's just the way it goes in today's world. The Carolina Panthers and San Francisco 49ers are tied at 10-4 for 5th place in the entire NFC. Those are the 2 wild card teams as of today. As of today, the 49ers would play the 8-6 Philadelphia Eagles in 3rd place, and the Panthers would play the Bears. And the Seahawks and Saints would get the first round bye. Because they're top dogs. Let me go ahead and well, you know what? I think I haven't forgotten about the injury report. Halfway through this show, if you want to call in 646-478-4837. Before I go to the matchups between the Lions and the New York Giants, that game starts at Ford Field, by the way. It's on Fox. It's on your local Fox affiliate. But first, the injury report. Lions wide receiver Brandon Pettigrew is ruled out for Sunday. He hurt his ankle on one of the two last on an ensuing drive with a few minutes to go in the Lions-Ravens game while the Lions were edging into the red zone. And he was taken out by a couple of dirty Raven defenders. The Ravens, the Ravens always play dirty. Sometimes they can get flags, sometimes they can't. Sometimes the NFL referees just suck up to them because the NFL referees are stupid and have no business refereeing at all. They're too old to do that now. They should just give it up. So his ankle got hurt by the Ravens defense, like I just said, and he'll not be able to play this week as a result. So Joseph Fourier, one of their other wide receivers, has to take charge. And the same for Doran Dickerson and Dylan Gandy, as well as in obvious running situations. Other injury news: linebacker DeAndre Levy is questionable with a foot injury. Calvin Johnson is questionable, most of all with his knee injury. Rasheed Mathis with illness, questionable at cornerback, and quarterback Darius Slay with a knee injury of his own is doubtful. Chris Houston at cornerback is questionable with a toe. I think he's starting to heal up a bit. Safety Louis Delmas with a knee injury, but he should be good to go. Safety John Wendling with an ankle, probable, and punter Sam Martin with a groin injury, probable. There are four New York Giants players out, including their top wide receiver Victor Cruz with a knee injury and a concussion. He's out for the rest of the year, for the rest of the entire NFL season. Running back Peyton Hillis with a concussion is out. Jason Pierre-Paul with a shoulder, and safety Cooper Taylor with a hamstring. The rest of the Giants injury report: wide receiver Gerald Jernigan with a knee injury is questionable. Offensive guard David Dial, Diehl, with a knee injury is doubtful. Offensive guard James Brewer with an ankle injury is questionable. Defensive tackle Colin Jennings with a shin and a /quad probable. Cornerback Trumaine McBride with a groin injury is probable, and one more, cornerback Terrell Thomas with a knee injury is probable. All right, let's get this on paper segment done in a jiffy, huh? Lions passing offense is ranked 3rd still, versus the Giants passing defense ranked 12th in the league. Keep in mind the Giants are 5-9, and they are already officially eliminated from playoff contention. I think the Lions should win this Sunday. The Giants are probably trying to give that one away because they're just trying to figure out what went wrong in their 2013 season. The Lions' passing offense is still ranked 3rd, but they have been terrible lately. They still haven't significantly outperformed the defense passer rating allowed average since losing to the Bengals in October. Stafford has thrown 7 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in the past 4 weeks. Apparently there's miscommunication between him and his receivers, and also the offensive coordinator, Scott Linehan. The player to watch, Antrel Roll, he is at safety at 6'0", 206, age 30, 7 seasons in the NFL. He had played one season, not 7. I'd take that back. It's 1 season. Wait a minute. Wait, I take that back. It is 7. The past 4 seasons now with the Giants, including this year, and the first 5 with the Arizona Cardinals. But anyway, leads the team with 6 interceptions and 11 passes defended, or batted down if you prefer. The Giants don't have a great defense, but the Lions' passing offense has been the team's weakness lately. A lot of drop passes as usual. The Giants get the advantage by a half point according to prideofdetroit.com. Lions running offense 18th, Giants running defense 13th. The Lions running offense is averaging just 4.1 yards per carry, tied for 19th. But they're getting a lot of first downs but they're earning first downs on 24% of their rushes, which is 9th best in the league. Giants are ceding only 3.8 a carry, tied for 5th, and give up first downs on 22% of runs. It's ranked 18th. Joseph Fourier is the player to watch. But the Giants again get the half-point advantage on that as well. Let's go to the other side of the football. Giants passing offense ranked 28th versus the Lions passing defense 23rd. There's a matchup we'd like to see, even though they're both down. This could be an advantage for the Lions. As I take a look at this, and the Lions do have the half-point advantage. Jarrell Jernigan for the Giants is the player to watch in that matchup. Hauling in 7 catches on 8 targets for 67 yards. 8 throws, if you prefer. Had only 13 career catches. It seems to be the next man up for the Giants. Lions ranked 20th in passer rating, allowed 86.9, tied for 22nd. In yards per attempt allowed, 7.6, and tied for 11th in completion percentage, allowed 59.4. The Giants' running offense is ranked 28th as well. The Lions' running defense, the defensive line, the defensive front is ranked 4th. The Giants' 3.6 per carry yards, first down percentages on carries 21.2%, ranked 23rd. 3.6 per carry, 29th. Fewest rushes of 20-plus yards, which is 3, and do not have a rush of 40-plus yards. Analysis: the Giants are bad. The player to watch: Ndamukong Suh. Suh leads all Lions defensive tackles in tackles 45 and tackles for loss with 6. The Lions get a 2-point advantage, a 2 flat point advantage. The Giants are also ailing on the defensive line, but even though the Lions are missing DeAndre Levy, the Lions' running defense has got them. Prediction: the Lions will come out with a 1.5 point advantage. And Pride of Detroit predicts the Lions 20, the Giants 16. I would pick the Lions 30, the Giants 14. So that's going to do it for this last segment, and that's going to do it. That's all the time. That's all the ground and time we have to cover for tonight's Lions edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. Coming up tomorrow night at 11 is the Red Wings edition. The Red Wings finally getting an overtime win at the Joe against the struggling Calgary Flames, 3-2 last night. Hopefully the Red Wings can carry the momentum and such. They're in Toronto tomorrow. I'll do the Red Wings edition right after that at 11. Puck drops at 7 in the new Maple Leaf Gardens, the Air Canada Center. So this is Taylor Phillips saying TTFN, ta-ta for now.